better place now, a new season. Gone is the pain, no problems, no more shame.
All right, Shedrick, thank you for stopping by the favorite show. You know, you're new to our audience. You're one of our newest family members here. You worked in the movies. You've done comedy worldwide. You worked with Tyler Perry for 20 years as a stand-in. Tell our audiences about that.
Well, man, some of the cool thing is I'm originally from Denver, Colorado, and a graduate of Norfolk State University, to hold the green and gold at ECU, which had a lot to do with my molding of who I am today. And it's just a blessing to be able to get into the entertainment industry. Like 2003, went to Atlanta then, and absolutely was going out there for a comedian to be a comic and just try this thing with entertainment, and met Tyler.
Okay. Now, how was that? How was Tyler Perry for people who don't know him?
Man, you know, the one thing about Mr. Perry that a lot of people don't understand is that is the hardest working man I've ever seen in my life.
He ain't hardest working than me.
Well, you're right there. There's taller than you. There's taller than you. But it's to sit there and watch him grind. Like, you got to remember, I was before the studio.
Okay.
So we're driving around the city. We're going around filming different places. And I'm just seeing how he positioned himself to be able to become a director.
Come on now.
That's the one thing where he didn't go to college and all that stuff. He learned on set and then mastered it, studied it, and just to see him, even with these last two movies we just did, where he knew the cameras and knew everything, that's so inspirational.
You was learning this with him.
Right.
And you were a stand-in.
Right.
So a lot of this, everybody, when you would see Madea as a stand-in, this is the stand-in right here.
Right. Well, actually, stunts and everything. Like,
Come on.
It was a lot of me, especially these next two movies. AI.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, it's a lot. But I've learned so much, that my line sometimes, and, you know, it's just so much stuff. And that's the blessing, to be able to be around that and utilize everything that I can to apply to my life.
So that jumped in with your comedy portion.
Mm-hmm.
But how did you know you were funny? Because it's a lot of people who are big name actors.
Right.
They think they're funny, but they're not.
Well, I actually became a comic by accident, and that was Cedric Entertainer. When I was in Norfolk State, we brought him, Coco Brown, Shane, and there was another comic that was supposed to host. He didn't show up, so they was like, "Hey, you funny, Shane. Why don't you get on stage?"
Come on now. Your first time out the gate.
First time out the gate. So we just want you to host because everybody know you.
That was nothing but God.
So I get up there and I'm just talking about people. This girl came in. I'm like, look at you. You can tell somebody got their refund check. You good, you know. And it was funny. So when I get off stage, said the entertainer was like, yo,
okay,
man, I don't even know comedy. I'm like, I don't do no comedy.
Yeah.
No, I don't. And
now, is your comedy clean, or do you got a little cuss words in it?
No, man, I'm a clean comic.
Okay, that's the Lord in you. Come on.
Right, but I'm be honest with you. It's crazy because I wasn't always cool because I was implement what I would see.
Yeah, because we grew up Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy.
Man, I was Bernie Mac, like all of them, Red Fox. And I'll never forget, I had went to this place because I thought I had to cuss. And Evangelist Ophelia Eiffel, my brother came.
Yeah.
And bombed so bad because I was cussing.
Yeah.
The people was like, who is this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when I got off the stage, my grandma was like, what was that?
Yeah.
You don't got to cuss.
You don't have to be up the world. You know,
yeah. And so I'm going back next week, and I went back next week and standing ovation.
Yeah, this time I'm going back.
Yeah.
But
so that's what it is. And I you know what too? I like talking to a lot of comedians when they try to do churches. So there was a time where you would get comics who do the cussing and all that to go to church.
Yeah.
And I try to explain that there's a difference between a clean comic and a gospel comedian.
Yeah.
A clean comic is just not cussing. A gospel comedian knows the way of the word, and he's positioning the things where people don't feel uncomfortable. Just because you don't cuss or you try not to be, you try to be clean doesn't mean you're a Christian comic or a gospel comic.
You can't fake it.
You can't fake it, and your material will come across a certain way that's not offensive to nobody in the church.
You cannot fake it at all because our mutual friend, Lasagna, she was saying that it was a comedian somewhere, and he really bombed because he started to curse, and it was the clean. It should have been a clean show, and when those clean shows happen, you can tell, especially if you don't know the ways of the church. If you don't know, if you haven't even attended church, how can you share comedy with individuals like that? Now, I'll say all that to say, during your career, how was your faith during that? Because God put you in a situation, he blessed you up really quick. So how did you keep your faith during this?
Well, I remember I used to question a lot of things, a lot of people. And you really had to be prayed up. But I'll never forget when I wasn't being seen, like nobody knew it was me doing the movies. You ain't in the movies, you know.
Because they're going to test you.
They're going to test you. And sometimes my name wasn't in the credit.
Oh, man.
It was just crazy. But then I remember being at church with Eddie Long, Bishop Eddie Long, when he was in Newburgh. And he had preached on this sermon talking about, I think it was Peter. Peter was walking on water.
Yes.
And he was talking about when Peter was walking on water, he had a sight on God.
That's right.
This is what it is.
No,
but his so-called family members and friends was in the boat. And what they were doing was telling him what he couldn't do.
Come on.
Like, you can't walk on water. You can't do this. But meanwhile, they're not realizing he already took 12, 13 steps. And then in that situation is where came part about me when I started losing focus. And you know what happened with Peter when he took his eyes off of God, he starts thinking. Right. And the best part about that story for me during that time, which saved my life, was the fact that Jesus never did let me down. What he did was he came over and picked me back up and said, refocus. So once I refocused, God has just been this everything forward. And I tell people all the time this last thing, they always say, what do you pray for? I say, no, I don't pray for anything. I give God a blank list.
Come on.
And say, whatever it is for me, you're going to put on that list. Because sometimes we ask God for stuff and we shortchange it.
You know what, everybody? Shed just gave us some goodness, that we're going to have some more goodness when we return right after these messages.
Being a parent, especially for the first time, with that comes a lot of self-doubt. As a dad, I just try to lead by example. When you're trying to be the best person that you can be, your kids see that and then they emulate that.
And we're back here, Favorite Family, with comedian, philanthropist, entrepreneur, actor, Shed G. Shed, now before we went to the commercial break, you were just telling us how you kept your eyes on God, just like what Peter did. And what we see, especially as Black folk, it's like sometimes we even have to prove ourselves to our family. And they should be our number one cheerleaders. So after you got over the hump, because first they laugh, and then they come, oh, I always knew you can do it. I don't know why it's like that, but okay, laugh. So as you continue to grow throughout your acting career and all of that, what were your next steps?
Well, my next step was, I was like, I need to do it myself.
Yes.
I remember when Tyler told me that I'm the most known unknown dude. And I was like, man, that really stuck with me. So I always was trying to force myself to be out front. So y'all gonna know me. Y'all gonna know who I am. Y'all gonna know I'm funny. Y'all gonna know I'm very entertaining. So I was just focused on doing a lot of stuff and making myself known, which was a blessing. So I can go back home to Denver.
Yeah.
I do a lot of stuff.
Now, what's going on in Denver? Are they cooking chicken wings, or are they putting crawfish in the yard in Denver? What's going on in Denver?
Denver's good. It's just they was the first state to legalize weed.
Oh, so everybody's up there.
So everybody came with. So you got their all personality.
Okay, everybody's getting along. Everybody's mellowed out.
Yeah, everybody's mellowed out. Right now we're in the playoffs. We're doing better.
Okay.
So it's just a situation like that. So just being all over and just everywhere. Moved to, I was in Atlanta, I was in Virginia, Minnesota, where I love Minnesota. I consider that my second home, doing radio.
Okay.
So I've done all of that. So now moving to Dallas, it's a situation of what am I going to do, or who am I going to be?
Okay.
And that's what I'm praying about now. It's like I'm trying to do a lot more, but I know what I have to have. Maybe not me being in front.
Yeah.
Maybe me behind the scenes.
It is so beautiful how God can let you rewrite your life. He's a father of second chances when it comes to our life. So I'm going to give you some target questions real quick.
Okay.
And I just want you to answer them however you feel.
Okay.
If you were to meet Jesus today, what would you say?
I would say thank you. You know what I mean? Forgiving me, my grandmother and my mother. I could have had anybody in the world.
You have me crying up here on the favorite show.
Those are the two best people. I love all my family, but I wouldn't change my mother or my grandmother. I'd just say.
How do you want people to remember you?
Healthy, joy, a light in the room. That's the one thing I always try to do. If I ever work with anybody, they know I always try to help them, whether they like it or not. I know sometimes my delivery may be off, but that's my dad, military. So it's like, I never tell you nothing that you don't need to hear.
Okay.
I say it the way you want me to say it. But once you take your time to remember and really listen to what I said, not how I said it.
As we are here to share the gospel, but we also are to encourage our viewers. If there is a comedian or actor or philanthropist, podcaster who was trying to get in the industry like you have been blessed with, what are 3 things that you would tell them?
I would tell them, do it. The one thing is, any bad idea is not one you take action towards. The second thing is research. Learn from others. Learn from doing anything. And the third thing is, to be honest with you, is just it all just breaks down to just invest in yourself.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing I've learned for Tyler. I own everything. Everything that I have, I own.
Yeah.
And I've learned that, like, if you have your own, nobody can tell you anything.
Come on now.
If you do it, you just do it. And it's on you.
Now, this is your last and final one. What is your go-to Bible verse that you use as a believer every day?
It has to be Mark 5:25.
Now, this is how we know that you know the Bible, because most people couldn't be able to do that.
Yeah, that's it right there. God leads them so much. That's what the woman with the issue of blood.
Come on now.
If you don't know about that, that's one of the most powerful scriptures.
Yeah.
She had everything wrong with her because of issue of blood. She had no friends. She was loneliness. Her husband nobody wanted to touch her. And the one thing that I got out of this is that she heard about Jesus. She ain't seen nothing.
But she heard about it.
She heard about it. That's just like us in today. We ain't seen nothing, but we heard about it.
Yeah.
And when she knew that he was coming, she said, if I can just touch the hem of the
come on,
not anybody else, it's on me.
Yeah.
Itself. And the craziest thing is she had to get on her knees and crawl through, and she was looked at as unsafe, unclean.
Yeah.
And when she touched the hem of the garment, and this is the only time in the Bible that he's ever said or did this, he had a dog. Never heard the Bible.
Yeah. You come on now.
I know the Bible now. I know the Bible story.
Yeah.
But he said daughter.
Yeah.
And that was the craziest thing. And then the best thing about that scripture, he was like, afterwards, after he said, your faith has made you healed.
Yeah.
Made you whole. And then he said, go in peace.
Come on now.
No matter what nobody says about you, go in peace. No matter what you got going in your life, if you feel
you didn't say you was a pastor, too.
No, I'm not. I just know the word.
You just know the word.
Yeah, by the word.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing that you always got to say. After you get there, just know you keep your eyes focused, and then just go in peace. And then your life will be so much better.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I've learned through all this thing. If you accept people for who they are, your life will be
amazing. You know, it is such a pleasure to sit here and interview you today. And now you have been ordained a part of the part of the Favor family. And just make sure you stop back by and just keep us posted on everything that you're working with. Everybody, this was Shed G right here on the Favor Lifestyle Show.
Hey,
what?
Before we leave, if you have another comedic event and I'm not involved, I'm telling you why. I'm not why I gotta be me and LaSalle. You better.
He's showing you how our shows really go down on the Favor Show. The Favor Show, when we do our shows nationally, it goes down. We will. We will.
You got me rocking like the color purple.
We don't have you on the show. We're not even like that. So again, you guys, we got Shed G. And if you want to know anything else about Shed G, look in the lower thirds with additional information. And we're going to have more with entertainment news when we return.